Notice the difference? Hello, good brothers and good sisters back at Grand River in southern Ontario, Canada. A couple of my pals are flying by and saying hi to you as well, some Canada geese. And today I thought I would talk a little bit about the importance of posture and how posture is power. I had the opportunity to work with some young folks, helping to tutor them in writing. And as I was working with them, I was finding that it's not enough just to teach them the basic rules. You have to also teach them some really, really basic guidelines of life in order for them to be able to apply that to tasks at hand. And one of the simplest first steps that you can take in doing things well, in mastering things, is posture. You can't get overwhelmed when you set out to do a huge task. A novel starts with page number 1, a marathon starts with the first step, so on and so forth. And I think a lot of amazing things are accomplished thanks to good posture. Good health, good fitness, that's all important. But you need to be able to work, as they say, from the diaphragm. You need to be able to, like these Canada geese, project. And yeah, you might be able to do that when you're slouched over like this. I can talk just fine like this. But it's a little better this way. There's a reason why drill instructors tell their recruits, your chest is out, your head is up, your chin is up. There's a reason for that, and it's not just for show. It's a bonus that it looks better, but it actually helps you with the actual execution of whatever it is that you're doing. And there was one young man in particular that really took the lesson of posture is power to heart. And it was really inspiring to me to see him over the weeks change his posture, because when I first met him, he didn't have the best posture, and I constantly reminded him. And it got to the point where on some days where even I was forgetting about my posture because gravity maybe was pulling down on me, especially hard that week, and I might be a little bit in a slouching position, he would remind me, not verbally, but he would remind me with his posture, because this young man would sit down, he would settle himself in, he would put those shoulders back, he would put that chest out, he would lift that chin up, and he would start typing and writing, and the creativity and the power would flow through that powerful posture. And he always reminded me on those days when I would forget, sit up straight. You're not helping anyone if you're slouch-shouldered and you're slouching over and you look like you're just enduring the day, hoping, counting the minutes until it's over. So something to be mindful of whenever you're working on whatever it is that you're working on. A lot of folks are working from home these days, and maybe the chairs that they have at home aren't quite as ergonomically appropriate as the ones that they had in their office. So be mindful of that. Make sure that you straighten that back out a little bit. Put those shoulders back. Raise your head up a little bit. That applies not just for computer work, but for phone too. Be very mindful of this thing that people do, the chin on the chest. I see a lot of people doing that, and that's going to lead to some serious spinal problems decades down the road. Do yourself in 20 years, your future self, a favor. Use your phone like this. Hold it up, look up at it. Same went for books long before smartphones ever showed up. But care for yourself down the road. Do yourself a favor. And maybe down the road, take a moment to look back and thank your past self and say, hey, I appreciate you doing that for me. Or is it, I appreciate me doing that for me? But anyway, that's a nice little phrase that I always like to remind myself with. A lot of the things that we grew up on and influenced, a lot of our personalities and our mindsets, a lot of those comics and cartoons and toy lines, they always talked about power. I have the power. I want the power. You don't know the power. Power is a word I think that really resonates, especially with people who grow up in the 80s. And I think it can be a very inspiring word if you do the work, if you do the training, the daily repetitive training in order to achieve that power, harness it and use it in everything that you do. So posture is power. It's alliteration. It's easy to remember, and it's a very, very easy thing to do. And I think it will lead to better things too. Sometimes you got to take that first step and write that first page before you can go on to accomplish those great goals. So sit up straight, chest out, chin up, and always remember that posture is power. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that you're all well, safe, and healthy out there, and powerful. Until next time, Nerdmas Day.